Hello everyone. In this video, we'll discuss the topic adaptive radiation. So far, we have understood various rules and concepts of evolutionary biology, and now we will be studying adaptive radiation.
Before we proceed, I have something very important to tell you. Please listen carefully. Anthroholic has launched its complete study material for Anthropology optional. This includes complete notes for paper 1, complete notes for paper 2, all the previous year questions from 1985 till the latest exam. And everything in these notes is arranged topic wise, properly organized. Also, this material is regularly updated with latest case studies and current affairs. You can check it out from the link in the description below. Also, if you would like to connect with us, you can join us on Telegram and Instagram at Anthroholic. Thank you. Please make sure to subscribe to this channel as well.
So, whenever you hear this term, radiation, what comes to your mind? Something that is radiating from a point? Oh yes, you talk about a circle has a radius because this is how you draw rays. Remember those sceneries? Yes, you used to draw sun. Yes, this is how you used to show rays. This is how rays look like. Rays actually, they appear to come from a common point, or we can say from this common point various rays are emerging, or rather we can say from this single point two different rays are diverging. So this is in a way known as a diversion, and this phenomenon where you are seeing this diversion happening is radiation. So in case of adaptive radiation, what we see is there are two terms. First is adaptive, the second is radiation. We understood the meaning of radiation, that is something that is emerging from like various different kinds of structures or organisms are coming from a common point. And adaptive radiation is basically the rapid diversification of a single ancestral species. Yes, this is the common point. The single ancestral species is the common point in the story. And this is gradually diversifying. It is developing into various different forms, evolving into multiple new species, and each of them is adapted to some new, some different environment, or let's say ecological niches. Often these are occurring when a species colonizes a new area with diverse habitats and few competitors. So this is like a story. Let's say you had a common ancestor of birds. For example, as you can see here, there are so many birds with different beak shapes and different patterns and different feather types. So there are so many diverse types of birds. You see a peacock, a parrot, a pigeon. They look so different, yet they are classified under this class of aves, or let's say birds. So as we see, they might have had a common ancestor, yes, from which they emerged. It is said that reptiles, that is dinosaurs, they gradually evolved into the modern day birds, and yes, there is a common link between the two archaeopteryx. So what happened is there was a common ancestor in their story, and then from this common ancestor, which had certain bird like features, this started evolving as per the situations, as per the demands. There are birds which are adapted for terrestrial as well as, let's say, aquatic habitats. Yes, they feed on aquatic organisms. They have webbed feet. They have different features. Whereas if you look at some birds which are meant for fishing, they have different types of beaks, yes, to collect fish. For birds which feed on nuts and seeds, they have different kinds of beaks. Yes, there are birds which are flightless. There are birds which can fly. Birds are meant for flying, but then again, there are birds like ostriches which are not meant for flying, right? So there are so many examples, so many diverse types of birds we see. And not only birds, this is applicable for any animal as such, or any plant species as such, where there was a common ancestor in the story, and then diversification, rapid diversification took place. So many different forms were created, And this was evolution at play. This itself, this phenomenon itself, is known as adaptive radiation, and yes, it is the rapid diversification of a single ancestral species into multiple new species. Yes, different species were created, species 1, species 2, species 3, like this, and they all had their own separate ecological niches. Yes, and often this occurred when a species, when it, let's say, it moved to a different area, a different niche, it colonized that particular niche, yes, with diverse habitats, different types of habitats, it gradually started adapting. Like penguins, yes, normal birds and penguins, they are different. Yes, they live in different habitats. Also, there are migratory birds. They are adapting to a certain environment, but again, when they want for better search for search of food and shelter, they migrate to different places of the world, often thousands of kilometers, right? So yes, when they move to a new area with diverse habitats and few competitors, they get selected to perform different functions, and although they had the same ancestral origin, their functions can be entirely different. This is adaptive radiation. Now, we will discuss the key concepts of adaptive radiation. Firstly, we'll talk about this aspect of rapid diversification. What happens is adaptive radiation involves quick evolution of a single ancestral species into multiple new species. Now, as we know, there is a common ancestor, which means there is a common origin, and common origin suggests that there is some structural similarity. There will be structural similarity, or let's say genetic similarity. There will be a significant genetic similarity. So they are similar in origin. In terms of origin, we can say these organisms are similar, whereas their function, which is because of their diverse habitats, different habitats, they have different functions. So they are structurally similar, or let's say they are similar origin wise, and they are functionally different. This is known as homology. This is known as homology. The organs developed, the organisms that are related through homology, they are called as homologous. Whereas there is another story, analogy. What is analogy? Analogy is a case in which, let's say, their origin is different. If originally they are dissimilar or different, but their function is same, function is similar, which we have studied under convergence. Yes, so this leads to divergence. Homology is something which you see in divergence, where from a certain point you are radiating or you are diverging to certain points. This is divergent evolution at play, and this is also known as adaptive radiation, because for the sake of adaptation you are radiating from a common origin. So this is adaptive radiation, and also divergent evolution at large. Origin is different, function is similar. As I told you, here you will be talking about analogy, and here you will be talking about convergence. So both are exactly opposite, exactly opposite. So now we just talked about the rapid diversification. Because of this adaptive radiation from a single ancestral species, it developed into multiple new species, it evolved, and such species were adapted to a distinct niche. Let's say, as you can see here, these are Darwin's finches. There was a common ancestor, but then so many different types of finches evolved. Some ate seeds, some feed on insects, some ate something else. So this is how you saw that so many different types of finches actually inhabited that particular island, Galapagos Islands, where Darwin initially went and studied these birds. So this is how he told the story of adaptive radiation. This is how nature selected, and because of their adaptations, they evolved into various different forms according to their needs, according to the demand of their particular niche. Now, we'll talk about ecological niches. What is a niche? A niche is the role an organism plays in its environment. Basically, it includes what it eats, where it lives, and how it interacts with other species. So, niche actually comprises of all the abiotic plus all the biotic interactions that are taking place in that in that particular organism's ecosystem. And this abiotic plus biotic factors, all these comprise the niche of that organisms, and this niche is the role the organism plays in its environment, including everything: what it eats, its feeding, its habitat, how it interacts with other species. All these things govern the ecological niche. Now, we'll talk about common ancestry. As I told you, as you can see from this tree, so you can say that all the branches represent different species. Well, this is a common practice in evolutionary biology as well. What we do is we draw phylogenetic trees. Yes, phylogenetic trees are basically trees based on their evolutionary origin. So this is how we have branch points, and branch points, they represent all the end points, they represent different species, and these are the ancestors. These are the ancestors, and whatever is the last point is the common ancestor. This is the last common ancestor, and based on this we actually draw evolutionary trees, which is known as phylogenetic tree. And these phylogenetic trees, they actually comprise the subject of study of these evolutionary relationships between organisms is known as phylogeny, molecular phylogeny. This is a broad subject and a very important one, because it actually helps us relate various structural features, various let's say other features like molecular features. Molecular phylogeny is also a subject which is very important, and this gives us an idea of evolution, basically a representation of evolution. We also try to denote it on a scale, like let's say how many millions of years ago this thing happened, and this is how we try to depict the story of evolution in the form of a phylogenetic tree and the relationships between the organisms. So common ancestry is a factor here because we are talking about adaptive radiation. Yes, as we know, they radiated from a common ancestor. All species resulting from adaptive radiation, let's say there is species 1, species 2, species 3, all came from a common ancestor. Yes, they share a common ancestor, and the diversification that has happened, this is driven by the species adapting to different ecological conditions. That justifies the name again, adaptive radiation.
Thanks for watching this video. Please make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and join our Telegram for regular updates. I'll see you in the next one.